Give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's the RGR Road Racing League as we take on the 1 hour of Road Atlanta. I'm Dean Doucette, joined tonight by Mr. Jason Martin. Jason, a little road action here, a lot of different cars out on this tricky track of Road Atlanta.
Yeah, Dean, should be a good race tonight. Road Atlanta, famous for the home of the Petite Le Mans, which was just this past weekend in real life. Always has some great racing here. A lot of motorcycles and all kinds of road racing come through here. It's a great track.
Yeah, great track. Weather just had a big change when we went over to race conditions. We went from a 129, well, down to a 110, but we're back at a 129 now, so it's a hot, slick track, Jason. I mean, what's that going to mean for these guys? I mean, if they practiced in cooler conditions, they're going to be in a bit of trouble, aren't they?
I believe so, Dean. Once they get them tires warmed up, them cars are going to be slipping and sliding, especially through the famous S's between turns 3 and 5 here at Road Atlanta.
And let's check in on, well, I'll have to pull them up, our championship points here. And there you have them. So Randy McCanney not here tonight. We hope everything's all good with Mr. McCanney, our points leader. But Jeff Ward is. He is in second. And there's been some battles between him and McCanney. Bray getting involved a little bit in those battles as well. He's third in the points. McMillan in fourth. He's been very consistent. Claus Williams, Olson, Connolly, Reiner, Formato, and Ripka in your top 10. So we'll definitely have a new points leader here tonight, Jason.
Yeah, we will. It's kind of unfortunate for Randy. He's a hardcore racer there. Has a lot of talent, and disappointing not to see me out here on the track.
Let's quickly go through the starting lineup. Ward on the pole, Bray, Olson, Ripka, McMillan, Williams, and they are going green already. My goodness.
Yeah, there's no pace lap there, I guess. So they're already taking off. But Jeff Ward stepping out to an early lead.
Yeah, Ward down there. Olson down on the inside. He's going to maintain his spot. Looks like everybody kind of maintaining. Musial managed to pick up a spot. That's about it. And you can see just how tight it is here early. This is no time to get racy and try and make moves. I mean, it's going to be tough to find a passing spot here.
Sure is, Gene. Probably take a little bit for these guys to get warmed up, get settled in, and we got a nice long race to be plenty of time to make some moves.
Connolly and Reiner. Watch out for Reiner. Reiner often starts at the back. He has speed, Jason. The question for him is how reckless does he get? And I don't mean necessarily taking other cars out. I just mean for himself. He will push that machine. You know, will he keep it on the track or not?
Tom will tell. You know, he's got a long way to go to get up there to up front, especially with as strong as Jeff Ward has been in the practice today.
See, he keeps looking, nothing doing yet. Up front, Ward leading Bray, and then we've seen this time and time again. Ward out front. Oh, and Bray is super loose off the corner. My goodness, he held it together. Here comes Olson. So Olson out here looking for second. Bray slipping. Wow, and kind of get pinched a little bit there, but Olson slips on through.
Yeah, it does. It's a good thing Olson made that move before come up to the next corner. He wasn't set up to make that a successful run there.
Wow, what a move. And Olson, I got to tell you, he's looking fast out here. We heard a lot of different things around the garage on who was fast, who wasn't, by how much. But I'm telling you, I don't know if it's the Porsche, those pink wheels, or just the way Scott's driving it, but that machine looks quick to me.
Yeah, maybe those Band-Aids on the nose, I think, holding that front nose together you got on your paint job.
A beautiful paint job there. The He-Hut machine, part of those potato head paints out there. He moved into second. Bray with that little mistake, and that's kind of what guys are going to be looking for, isn't it, Jason? Maybe not making the big move, but capitalizing on the small mistake.
Yeah, capitalizing on the mistakes will be the blessing for some guys, and having some small mistakes is really going to hurt a lot of them tonight. But it'll be interesting to see. Being mistake-free will be a key to having a good finish.
Oh, and Reiner, something happened there that threw Musial off the track. Let's get a quick replay of that and see what happened here. So Musial slow through this S portion here. Here comes Reiner with a huge run. He'll come to the inside. Oh, and under braking, Musial just kind of loses it on his own there. Almost catastrophic for Reiner.
Looked like maybe, Dean, somebody was trying to let somebody by, and they just both chose the same lane and just surprised Reiner there.
Michael Davis making his way up through the field. He just picked up a couple of spots. So very interesting stuff happening. Actually, let's go to a replay of Michael Davis grabbing these spots away from, looks like Greg Ratliff right in front of him. There must have been some kind of mistake up in front here. You see Davis. Oh, and there's an accident there. My goodness. So that's how he picked up too. Getting a little dangerous out here.
I don't know who that was, but he got off in the, I couldn't catch the car, got off in the runoff there area and hit the gravel. And, he was able to get by both those cars.
Yeah, hard to say who that was. It might have been Reiner, but Reiner's up 4 spots, and you see what he's doing. This is what Reiner does. I mean, he keeps moving up, 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 so we'll see how it goes for him. Ward, though, leading this thing, and you see he is starting to open up a bit of a gap on Olsen. Bray is sneaking back into the picture with McMillan in 4th. Claus Williams doing a nice job hanging around the top 5. Shots of Road Atlanta here. Now, where do you camp at Road Atlanta? I mean, are you a start-finish line guy, or you want to be down in the S's, or one of those, high speed and then tight corners? Where do you want to be, Jason?
I'm not really sure, Dean. I'd probably want to be like down 10A, 10B. It's a high-speed section coming out of 7. Long, straightaway, high speed. And you come in down to turn 10. Tight little turns there. It'd be fun to watch them guys breaking in them corners.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they got grandstands up there, too. How about this? Lance Ripka just pulled off the fastest lap of the race. Unexpected development. Lance Ripka ripping a lap off.
Yeah, I run a lap of 1:21.2. That's a real fast lap. Real fast. Would have got on the pole.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So he's found his way early in this thing. Can he do anything with it? He's got Ratliff in front of him, and then Davis a little further up. Great action. I got to tell you, I love driving these cars, Jason. They are a lot of fun. They almost ruin it for you when you go back to, say, an oval truck or something.
Oh, they absolutely do. The brakes on these GT3 cars are amazing. The corner stick and the downforce makes them a lot of fun to drive.
Bray makes a move on Olsen, so not sure if Olsen gave way or not, but Jamie Bray has made it back up to second. He's absolutely flying around here. Get that beautiful Audi machine out there. There's McMillan, still holding on to fourth. He's getting heat, though. Klaus Williams, he's proven that he can run these races, much like a lot of guys out here. They'll show that they've got some speed. The question is, can you keep it together for an hour, Jason?
Yeah, well, a lot of these guys I know from the oval world, and a lot of them enjoy road racing, coming over and running the road racing series in the league. And running a good lap, fast lap in the road course one time is easy, sort of. Doing it consistently over a long period of time, that's where it gets hard.
Yeah, I can attest to that personally. About 10 minutes into this race, I would start to get tired.
Yeah, it's a lot more intense than to me than oval racing. You always got to be way up on your toes. There's no break. If you take a break, you're losing time.
Absolutely. You see there, Jamie Bray. I think that's the final corner there. And there's the start-finish line. So Bray chasing. Ward has just laid down a sub-121 lap. First guy to do that. Ward absolutely flying.
I'm a little surprised that Scott Olson's not able to maintain pace up there with Jamie Bray.
Well, I mean, Jeff is very, very fast, and Bray as well. Remember, Bray running this series obviously loves them. But the third thing is, Jason, all these cars are different. So they're different. One will be good at one track and another at another track. So depending on your car choice, you may or may not be the best car out there.
Well, it's obvious the Ford Mustang is pretty good at this track out there, Jeff Ward. Stretching it out to a 2.7 second lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, Ward putting in the work. A lot of guys are, but Ward off in a class of his own right now. He is going to continue to open this up. His fight is going to be with himself and this track, I do believe.
Yeah, being unfamiliar with the series at the end of the day, you usually have to make a pit stop.
Yeah, usually the gas is right around the halfway mark, so look for at a half hour in, which we're 9:40 in right now, and look for them to pit stop right around halfway. I mean, the question is, how much gas can you get in the tank? How much do you want in the tank? Can you pit earlier than a half hour or later than a half hour? Does it even matter? I don't know. I think you got to get your fuel situation sorted out. You don't want any extra fuel, do you, Jason?
No, you certainly don't. That's one thing with these cars. The more fuel that's in them, the more weight, the slower these cars will go, and there's no getting around that.
So there's Ripka pulling over there. I think he has just broke that car. So Ripka, who just set the fastest lap of the race moments ago, also had an issue. Let's go luck. And often that's what happens. You're trying to push the car a little hard. Here he is behind Greg Ratliff, swings it out. He's got heat from behind, heat in front. Oh, and Ratliff gets loose, and someone gets into him there. I'm not sure if that was Reiner. It might have been Reiner who got into him. And that car looks like it is not driving well. That might be all. I think it is.
Yeah, it looked like Ratliff just got a little loose off the corner there, and the back end hung out on him. And he checked up right into him.
Michael Davis up a couple of spots. There's Ratliff behind him. Reiner, again, the big mover, up 5 spots. I mean, he knows how to get airtime, doesn't he, Jason? I mean, he's fast and he starts at the back. It's entertaining to watch.
Yeah, sure. It can be a lot of fun to do that, too. Some guys choose to do that on purpose, starting the back, and they have a good time working the hard way and getting up to the front without having to start up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely exciting and fun.
Nice to see that Chevrolet power out there on the course in that Z06 Corvette.
And who's driving the Corvette tonight?
Reiner. Reiner's in the Corvette.
It is Reiner. Okay. Let's have a look at that again. I missed that. You're absolutely correct. Yes. Much improved vehicle from the old GT. What was it? GTO?
GT1.
McMillan's starting to make some headway here, so let's go on board with Mike McMillan. This is a very consistent driver. You know, he is not going to over-push his machine, and he's not going to make mistakes, at least for the most part. So I like generally watching him to see how to drive a track here.
Yeah, Dean, and when I'm helping you out broadcasting, and I always talk about and like to talk about smooth hands, smooth inputs. And when you watch Mike's hands as he's handling his car around the track, that's what you see: smooth hands, smooth inputs. I'm sure if we could see his throttle and brake trace, you'd see the same thing.
Do you think he uses Palmolive?
Probably. You never know. You never know with Mike, and nothing would surprise me.
He's looking good out here, and he's making some progress on Olsen there. Great job so far. Smashburger, get the double, he says. Okay. So try the double, Jason.
Try the double. What is Smashburger? I don't even know. Is that a California thing?
Apparently, it's a very popular burger joint, much like your McDonald's or Burger King, but apparently better. I don't know. I don't think we have them here in Canada.
No, I ain't got one where I live up here in Texas either, North Texas. Maybe there is one. It's just not my thing.
Graham Connolly, he's up a couple of spots, and Connolly just kind of running his own race out here. This would probably be me, Jason, if I was racing. I'm going to race clean, and those who go off the track, I'll pick up those spots.
Yeah, well, the old days of my first experience racing online, using the old cup cars, that's how I used to race. I could never muscle those cars around the road course, and my whole goal was to not go off the track, and sometimes you catch a break, get a top 5, top 10 out of it.
Absolutely. Michael Davis seems like he's got speed. He's up 3 spots. He's got Greg Ratliff behind him here. There's a battle for 5th place right now. Go on board with Greg Ratliff and just see if he's even considering trying to make a move here.
Yeah, it looks like he's into it. Ooh, that Porsche getting away from him there on the edge of the corner.
It did walk out on him a bit there, so you're going to lose a little time to Michael Davis. McMillan is slowly but surely running down Olsen, and this is a battle that goes back several races. These guys seem to not be able to get away from each other.
Yeah, Scott and Mike, both good friends, love racing together, and the two of them always going after each other, trying to make each other better. It's good to see them racing around each other.
Most definitely. It's kind of what it's all about, isn't it? You get yourself some friends, you get out here, and you challenge each other.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's what everybody I race with does, and of course you know that. And it's what it's all about the people you're doing it with.
No doubt. Talk a lot about the community. Great community here. You want some fun, you want some laughs, some old-time people to hang out with. Come over to iRacing. Join, RGR. Find your way into one of these Discord channels. They're a lot of fun. Get to pick on people, Jason.
Yeah, a little bit sometimes.
If they're friends, that is.
Yeah. We don't want to make anybody upset. There's no crying or iRacing.
I've cried a few times, I think.
Most of us have.
So as all this goes on, out front, it's Jeff Ward opening it up here. He is now up to 3.6 seconds. And, when you're at his level, his speed, does he back it down, Jason, to be safe? Or is trying to do that kind of unsafe?
When you're fast, Dean. He's walking away right now. And sometimes if you try and just maintain and relax, all of a sudden you got somebody on you. So if it's me, I'm pedal to metal. I'm getting her for all she's worth. I'm not pushing the car, but I'm hitting all my marks and getting there to the finish line over and over again as fast as I can.
Right now, Bray and Ward, the only ones that are in the sub 122 lap times. So these guys in a class of their own. And I like what I'm seeing from Bray. I don't think he's losing anything on Ward. Most of his losses came early. That one little bobble that put him behind Scott Olson. He had to work his way back and get around him. That's where he lost all this time. Since then, he's been almost matching Ward lap for lap.
Yeah, he has, and he's gaining a little bit. I've been paying attention to him. He's lost a little bit. He's maintaining, and this is what you need to do. Keep that leader close. And when pit stops come around, it doesn't take much of a mistake for things to change hands quickly.
Gotta stay on it here. There's always a turn ahead. There is no time for drinks or anything else. Tricky little track. Look back at Olson now. He continues to hold off McMillan. McMillan trying to inch closer. It looks like this is a case of one car is a little better in one section and the other car is a little better in a different section.
Yeah, these guys fighting for third place. They're about 12 seconds back from our leaders up there. And that's true with the two different cars we got here, Dean. We got Scott Olson driving the Porsche. Got Mike McMillan in the Audi. So those two cars, if I was the guessing man, I'm pretty sure I'm correct in saying the Porsche is a little quicker through the turns and the Audi's a little quicker on the straightaway. I might be wrong, but I think that's fairly accurate.
Yeah, it sounds right to me. I mean, but McMillan is closed in, and right behind him you got Davis and Ratliff, and they're closing in as well. So this thing's heating up. Davis just went sub 122, so he's flying right now. Up front, Bray knocked off 0.02 of a second last lap. This lap, I don't know. It looks like he lost about 0.6. So that's kind of where we're at. He's gaining hundredths, but losing tenths.
Yeah, he obviously had to have a slip up somewhere on the track for Bray to. Last time I looked, he's down about a second. So he obviously must have messed up a corner somewhere and lost some time.
Connolly has moved up to 7th. You got Claus Williams in 8th, and Claus has got speed. It's just, like I said, consistency is what matters around here. You said it, I think, Jason.
Yeah, you got to hit those marks and do the same thing every corner, every lap. And keep those times and those sections down. So, yeah, you got to have the whole complete package.
Looking on Eric Whiting, he's picked up 5 spots. So Whiting just cruising around here, picking up spots. I love it. Musial's taking a pit road. He might be done for the night. There's Whiting back in 9th. Spear in 10th. And the Toad Man, Todd Gilly, back here in 11th position.
Good paint on that car, too. It's good looking Ferrari.
Yeah, got RGR on the side.
Like that, was that bronze color?
It's sharp looking. Yeah, a little bronze and purple, the color of the Kings. Jeff Ward continuing to open it up, now up to 4.7 second lead. Beautiful looking car. I would buy this car off the lot.
Yeah, Jeff running the new Ford Mustang that just recently got released. It is definitely a good-looking car, good-looking sounding car from talking to people about these cars earlier today, trying to get some inside information, and they said everybody loves the sound of this car.
Well, we hop on board with Mr. Ward to hear it. Now, I don't think this does it justice. This is in the car sound. I'm going to try and get outside of it and hear it come rumbling by. Very hard. Well, there you go. A little taste of the sound. So definitely a good sounding car, though. And it matters, doesn't it, Jason?
Sure. Yeah, you got that big V8 muscle is what everybody likes. And that's what racing's about. People, it's part of it. The smell, the sounds, not just the sights.
Jamie Bray still chasing, that time a 10th faster than Ward, so Bray does have the ability. If he can iron out his consistency, he might be able to run him down. We also seen what happened last week to Ward with his pit stop. He came off on pit lane with cold tires and promptly put it in the grass, Jason. That's a concern for all these guys, isn't it? Cold tires?
Yeah, sure is, Dean. And depending on that fuel load you have, too. It looks like we got Mike McMillan made the pass on Scott Olsen for third place. Excuse me.
How about that? Mike McMillan bringing, well, I'd say the smash burger, but it's a Red Bull machine he's putting up there. Let's get a look in on this pass here as Olsen is all over him. My goodness. So here we go down the long straightaway, and you can see, you're right, the extra power in the McMillan machine allowing him to get position on entry here, and he just drives right around Olsen on that long straightaway.
Yeah, he gets a good run off turn 7, gets position down on the S's, and completes the pass. It was a good pass. It was a good run for him. I might have had that backwards. The Audi might have the straight line speed, and the Porsche may be better in the corners.
Yeah, I think that's what you said originally.
Is it?
Right behind him, battle continues to rage on. Michael Davis and Greg Ratliff. Been impressed with both of these guys. They obviously have practiced. They're ready to come here and race. Greg a little smoother through that section, brings him up, but quickly Davis pulls away again.
Yeah, this looks to be this 4-way battle going on for 3rd, 4th, 5th position here.
Yeah, it's going to come down to pit stops. I mean, and we're close. We're about 5 minutes away from halfway, which means guys will be coming in whenever now. I mean, I don't see any advantage to the short pit here tonight. I'd probably go long, depends on the times. But generally speaking, Jason, I mean, as your tank of gas goes down, you're actually faster. Tires not that big a concern here tonight. I mean, what do you expect from it? You expect anybody to try and short pit this thing?
I don't think so, Dean. I'm just looking at lap times here, and it looks guys are running around about the same times at lap 5. They're working on lap 18 now, and times are just within a few tenths. So I don't think tires are going to be a huge issue. I'm sure it'll make a little bit of a difference.
It is interesting. Times are speeding up. There's no doubt about it. We're not seeing record laps, but we're seeing more and more cars dropping below 122 on the charts. So guys are getting better and getting faster as that tank gas dwindles. And in particular, I think Davis is really on the move.
Yeah, that fuel coming out of that, emptying that tank and the car getting lighter, and the temp in the tires, it just, doesn't equate to much fall off. These guys end up being able to clip off some good laps later in the run.
And that's why I think getting your fuel right on pit stop is just so important. Some guys will get a full tank of gas. It's not what you want. You want just enough. I mean, you want to be sputtering at the line if you can.
Yeah, well, that's time in the pits, Dean. It takes a long time to fuel these cars up. Long time in the pits. Tires and fuels. I'm sure we maybe see some people who don't even take tires, Dean.
Well, they've changed it, right? So it used to be they did it separate. You had to put your tires on and then your fuel, or vice versa. Now they do it at the same time, so there's really not much of an advantage to not getting tires. If you got a short enough fuel load, perhaps you could save 5 seconds or something. But the general difference on a full tank of gas, 4 tires versus no tires, you're looking at about 1 second difference, if that.
So they've changed it. I wasn't aware.
Yeah, it used to be a pit stop was like forever. It was like 45 seconds or something. That is no longer the case. Right
well,
now.
Not taking a lot of fuel, could be the key here. I don't know who's out there driving around with a calculator, but I'm sure they're out there trying to calculate figuring out what the minimum amount of fuel they need to put in these cars to get into the end.
Well, you know me, Jason. I got the abacus down here by my feet, so I just slide a few knobs around.
I was really trying hard not to talk about math because I feel the same way you do.
Ward leading, and he has put a couple of cars a lap down. I think Spear and the Toad Man have been lapped here, so that's 10th and 11th place there. Back up to, and we got pit stops. So McMillan is in, Olsen is in, the two friends, and look at this, Olsen trying to make a move on pit road. He gets in line. So a little battle on pit road here as Olsen continues to search. He's trying to make moves on pit road. I love it.
Yeah, there you go. There's the first ones on pit road, it looks like here, and right at the halfway point of the race.
Wow, can Olsen get one over on McMillan? Williams comes in as well. We'll stay with this battle. We are not at the halfway mark quite yet, so this is a little bit of a short pit for these three. Down and away, Olsen did, in fact, get McMillan by quite a bit, so this has got to be fuel. I mean, he must have took a little less than Mike. That'll make him faster, too. Great stop by the He-Hut machine.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's definitely... he took less fuel because there's no way he's got a second gap, or half a second gap on him out already.
You look in on Michael Davis, the battle for third right now. They still have to pit though, but he's doing great, and I got to tell you, Ratliff is hanging right with him. He has not lost him at all. These two are hooked together just like McMillan and Olsen are hooked together. The question is up front, Ward with about a 5-second lead. When does he come in, and when does Bray come in?
I'm camped out on here. On pit lane here, Dean. See if I can see what these guys are in. Right now, we've got Scott Olsen, Mike McMillan have made their pit stops. Claus Williams has also made his pit stop.
Well, you watch out for those pit lizards down there.
Yeah, we will. Looking at the pit times, Dean, looks like Scott was about, his total time on pit road and pit stop was 2 seconds faster almost.
Unbelievable. Great move by Olsen. Let's check in on those two. You see Olsen there, and there's McMillan. So McMillan's going to have to work hard again. He just did it on the first run. Can he do it again? I don't know. This is a good little battle. Ward just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:20.77. That's bad news for the field. And Jason, I mean, Ward is just getting faster. And Jamie Bray in second has now opened up almost 18 seconds back to third place. Michael Davis, who's got Ratliff with him in fourth. Oh, and Davis goes around. Oh, my goodness. And so does Ratliff. So both of them wipe out. Tragedy strikes. Let's get a replay. We were on it, but I mean, I didn't really see what happened there. So Davis coming through. All looks well. He's all alone. This is just bad braking. He blows the corner. Oh, and he gets a little piece of Ratliff. That gets him loose. He's into the grass. So both guys significantly harmed. Here comes Graham Connolly. And he's not going to quite get through. But Connolly, being safe and sure all night, he might pick up a couple more if they go at it again.
Yeah, it's good for Connolly to make it through there safely. It's too bad. That just shows you how the aerodynamics of these cars, how fine they are. All it takes is a little bit of a tap to change the aerodynamics of the cars, and automatically they just get out from under them.
They do. I mean, I've seen it. I've done it driving. You get very aggressive with these cars with the downshifting and the braking. And every once in a while, you put one tire in the wrong spot, and that car will just spin on you. So Ward, we're 32 minutes in here, still has not taken the pit lane. Bray in second. He has not pitted. Ratliff and Davis, who just wiped out, they're still in third and fourth. They haven't pitted, neither has Connolly or Whiting. So Olsen and McMillan are going to come all the way up to third and fourth. I mean, I think that's where they were, but they're going to be clear of everybody. And Olsen's starting to open up. Ward hits pit road, so Ward gets on pit road first. Bray going to go right on through. Looks like Ratliff, well, he's got a ways to get up there, actually.
Got a leader on pit road.
Yeah, Ward has taken the pit road.
Oh, you call it. I'm sorry.
He slides into that first pit stall. A little further back, I think that Jason Spear coming on pit road got himself a Ferrari. I mean, my goodness. I didn't know he had that kind of money.
Another good-looking car.
More guys coming in. Here comes Ratliff, who got in front of Davis with that calamity. Connolly comes in right with them. And so I like this for Connolly. I mean, he has just been the most patient guy out here. And I just love that when a guy gets success by doing what he can do, right? You got to stay within yourself.
Absolutely, you do. I mean, if you push it too much, then you're going to end up not in a good spot.
Eric Whiting comes in. Beautiful looking paint on that machine. So to Charlotte, Michigan. I didn't even know there was a Charlotte in Michigan. So race leader Jamie Bray, I believe, has taken the pit road. So Bray comes in. Ward is already out. Ward is now 36 seconds behind Bray. Olsen and McMillan are about 24 seconds back of the leader, Jeff Ward. So unbelievable. They have opened up a 12-second gap back to Ratliff and Davis because of what they got involved with. So it worked out for Olsen McMillan. No positions, but they've got some room now, and they can kind of cruise a little bit. Ward goes by pit road, so he's going to open up this lead. Bray just leaving now. He's going to come out about 6 seconds behind Jeff Ward. Can the Audi do something? It's going to be very, very difficult. McMillan, he's got to work his way around Jason Spear. He does. He's now 2 seconds behind Scott Olsen for third place. Davis starting to stalk Ratliff again. Let's hop on board with Michael Davis. Whew. Ratliff through the grass area a little bit. Did not seem to upset the car too much.
Yeah, one of the best updates they've done turns out to be is that iRacing changing how the grass interacts with a car. Used to be on these road courses, if you clip that grass, it would send you. Now it's not too bad.
All right, some positive iRacing adjustments. I'm always for it. Continue to ride on board with Michael Davis as he stalks Greg Ratliff for 5th place.
iRacing did screw it up by making the grass cool the tires off for a little while, but
well, we love iRacing up in the booth, Jason. There'll be none of that.
All right. About 6 months to get it right. But it's good now. It's really good.
Okay.
It's definitely a what do you call it?
How's the football game going, Jason?
Yeah, sorry. He just threw a Hail Mary to end the half for a touchdown.
For those of you who don't know, Monday Night Football on. Jason, a New York Jets fan. Of course, you all know I'm a Lions fan, and we love our football around here.
Quality of life. It's good quality of life change for iRacing is what I meant to say.
There we go. So Ratliff now is coming up on the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. So this is going to be interesting. Does he just move over? Does he hold up Ratliff a little bit while allowing Davis to come right back to him? We're going to stay with this battle and see. So far, Gilly looks like he got a little bit of speed out here, so the Toad Man not being caught in a hurry. We see a lot of that, don't we, Jason? I mean, oval racers riding road, as the race goes on, they seem to get better and better and better. Oh, and I say that, and he's off track as he tries to let him go by.
Well, a year and a half ago, that'd have been a wreck. But that quality of life grass just makes it better. Yeah, it's us old guys it's the consistency thing, I think, Dane. And it's a lot easier to get consistent in a mile and a half turning left than it is to be consistent on however long this track is turning right and left. So once you get them old guys in the groove, making left and right hand turns, they start seeing the same corners over and over again. Consistency starts to build with it. And they take on to it and adapt to it, just like the road racers, the regular road racing guys.
Absolutely, they do. You know what I mean? You made me think of, we got a friend over on Discord. He enjoys the quality of life grass as well.
Yes, we got a couple of them. We're got a couple guys, I think. But yeah, grass is quality of life.
This battle raging on. Davis trying to catch Ratliff for fourth. A little further back, you got McMillan trying to catch Olson. There goes Olson. There's McMillan. So that rages on. So two good battles happening. Graham Connolly sitting in seventh. He's in his comfort zone again. He'll wait for another mistake. Claus Williams takes to pit road. So Claus is going to fall. I think Eric Whiting going to come through. Here he comes. So move Whiting up 6 spots now into 8th. Nice little run here, Jason.
Yeah, it sure is for him. Looking good out there and making those left and right hand turns. Getting smoother as it goes on.
My goodness, Ward just set the best lap. Bray just set his personal best, but it was 0.6 slower than Ward. So Ward is absolutely flying now. And, it's like what we talked about earlier. He's just not going to slow down because this is just how he drives, period.
Yeah, Jeff sure does look good out there, boy, leading the pack. And probably has a lot of laps at this track, put a lot of effort into it, and it's definitely paying off for him.
Jamie Bray, really nice run for him. Sitting in second, and he's been in the bridesmaid seat. He's been in the third position a few times. So Bray continuing to search for his first victory. Doesn't look like tonight's quite his night, but we've seen things happen. Everything can and does happen here in the RGR Racing League. Olson continuing to maintain, and I gotta think Olson did something with a little less fuel that is just, it's good for the car. He looks like he's just a tick faster than he was prior to pit stops.
Yeah, I was going to make that same observation. They came out probably within a tenth or two of each other, and looks like Olson's been able to stretch that out a little bit here, but McMillan's still able to maintain.
Oh, yeah. Don't sleep on McMillan. He comes late in these runs. He's a smooth driver. Excuse me, a little choked up. But the tires that don't mean that much, they mean something. I mean, his are going to be a little bit better than others. So he might start making a move here as this run goes along.
Yeah, right now they're running about identical lap times, too, so.
Bray making a little time up on Ward last lap, but nothing much to speak of. Back to Ratliff. Ratliff has lost Michael Davis. Michael Davis apparently had another little off track or something. Let's actually go in and get a replay of that. Davis coming down into a hard braking section here. A little quick turn, actually. And then, oh, the rear end just goes around. Off to the inside wall. My goodness, that's some damage on that machine. Doesn't look too severe, and he gets a point in the right direction. Probably lost about 4 or 5 seconds there.
Yeah, I think that kind of lazy slide like that, if I remember correctly, is kind of indicative of the Porsche. With that center engine, low center of gravity. Once you start getting that back end sliding out around it, it just kind of lazily keeps going. It's hard to get corrected.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that's the case. So what would the advantage be? Just the cornering feature of the Porsche?
Well, that's the advantage, is the low center of gravity with that center motor, able to maintain more speed through the corners. The problem with that is once you cross that line, it's harder to grab hold of the car again.
And don't look now, Connolly slips into the picture behind Davis. See, and he just needs one more mistake from Davis, and Connolly will be moving on up to 6th spot.
They're constantly powering around in that new McLaren that iRacing just recently put out.
I got that car myself. Nice little vehicle. No real battles out on the track right now. You got Claus Williams. Well, no, I thought he might be in a battle with Spear. It looks like Spear's on pit road, if I'm not mistaken.
You talk about those, we talk about those little slips and those little mistakes, and it only takes a mistake, you know, for a guy to get into the picture, you know, and gain a position. And that's the thing with these mistakes on these road courses, Dean, I think, is that when you make a mistake in a corner, it just doesn't affect that corner. That mistake causes you for having like a brain reset, and you got to gather yourself up. It takes quite a few corners, at least for me, and I know for other drivers, in order to gather that car back up and get back focused and get in your groove again.
Absolutely. I've had a few brain resets in my day, Jason.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure.
So Ward now 7.5 seconds to the good. He goes sub 121, the only car that time. Unbelievable looking at this Bluegrass Motorsports machine, the 89 out here, just kicking butt here at Road Atlanta.
He's walking away.
He's definitely walking away. He might be running. Jamie Bray coming by the start finish. Still looks solid. I like the way the Audi sounds and looks. I mean, it just looks like a racing machine to me.
Yeah, sure does. Looks like a doorstop. Made for aero.
It definitely does. We're back to Olsen now. Oh! And someone just went through. McMillan. Olsen has pulled off. He's gone to the pits. Scott Olsen has gone to pit road. Apparently, he didn't get enough fuel in the car. Wow.
Oh, this is going to be big. It's going to be big for him. I'm sure he's disappointed.
That must be the case. He must have underfueled that car. That's how he got off pit road quick. And realizing he's not going to make it, he thought, I'll just bite the bullet now and let me get back out here and do my racing.
Wow, that's so unfortunate.
Really is. Don't look now. Ratliff making his move. He's catching up to Mike McMillan. So very quickly, I might add, it looks like McMillan is off the pace for some odd reason. Unless he's waiting for Greg Ratliff. I don't know why he would do such a thing, but it looks like he's back up to speed now.
Yeah, that's weird. He must have had a mistake or something somewhere. His previous lap was almost 2 seconds slower than what he's been doing and just about what everybody else is doing on track.
Could have freaked him out what happened to Scott Olson. Olson back out on the track now, so very, very strange things happen. Olson comes out in 7th. I don't think he's got enough to run down Connolly. Connolly is 16 seconds ahead of him. So that was very, very costly. And this is the type of things that can happen. I mean, it could happen up front. Ward has a 7.5 second lead, but is it enough? Is he not going to have to stop or anything? Bray behind him. It looks like he's working on Claus Williams there. Claus going to move on over and let Bray go through. Classy move there.
Yeah, as we come to about 10 minutes to go here, coming up in about another 10 seconds, Dean. That costly mistake for Scott. That move is gonna solidify him there in that 7th spot. I'm sure that's where he's probably gonna end up finishing. So unfortunate.
Now Graham Connolly is up to 6th, so the patience continues to pay off. Claus Williams on pit road, or he is towed. I'm not sure which. I think he's on pit road. So move Connolly up to 6th, like I said, and he was catching Davis, or maybe Davis went around him. I'm not sure. Looks like Davis may have had another off track. Let's go and see if we can find out what happened to Davis. Davis there, a little ragging on the exit of that corner. He goes down into here. And this is the one we looked at. I mean, no, he gets up on the rumble through the grass, keeps it straight through the grass, tries to enter the track at the S's. Actually, that was really good by him. And it's that, what kind of grass is that again?
Quality of life grass, Dean.
The quality of life grass. I like it.
I wonder, do you think that may have gave him a slowdown, you think?
It possibly did, but he was probably slow enough where he didn't even have to do anything to serve it.
Yeah, well, it's good driving either way, keeping it straight going through there.
Absolutely. Fantastic driving by Michael Davis. I mean, you got to take the mistake into account, so I guess I can't say fantastic, but great recovery.
Yeah, he polished the turd.
Exactly. And sometimes that's how you get these great finishes.
That's right. Sometimes your greatest moments are just polished turds.
Go on board here with Greg Ratliff as he tries to chase down Mike McMillan. McMillan is tough to chase down. I mean, he's going to run his race. He's going to run his line. It's going to be very consistent.
Yeah, he is. I'm curious what that slowdown was for him. I mean, it was obviously his lap times were down a couple seconds, and I looked through and checked them out. I really didn't see anything. But
it's possible he just wanted a battle. I mean, some guys love battles.
Bray's still able to maintain that 7-second gap up there to Jeff Ward, but he's not gaining on him at all. And time is ticking down, Dean.
It's definitely ticking down. We're down to about 8 minutes left in this race. I have to keep an eye out for that white flag because it comes out when it comes out. It doesn't always make sense. I think here Ratliff is making some progress here on McMillan. Oh, he drives in deep that time. Closes in a few more car lengths. Great section there by Ratliff.
Yeah, you know, it benefits you when you get that guy in sight, Dean, when you're coming up from behind him and you can just see him. So I've done some of my best racing following some of the good guys around, getting to their bumper.
Absolutely. I mean, what better way is there to learn than follow a fast guy around here? Right now, Greg might be the faster of the two. He's working hard trying to get this spot. This is a third place. This is a podium spot. Oh, and Greg runs wide, which you can there. He uses everything he can. It's starting to heat up. The Toad Man heads to pit road. That's unfortunate. I don't know how much that'll cost him. There's Ward. You got to go a long ways to find Bray. He's 7 seconds back now. And then you find McMillan and Ratliff. Ratliff again, heavy braking down that hill, tries to close in. And he is closing. He's got it under a second. Now to 0.8 seconds behind McMillan. I mean, this is the best battle on the track. Ratliff looks like he's getting more and more comfortable as this race goes on.
Like, Ratliff's just beating him on entry to corner, Dean. Most places is what I'm seeing.
Definitely. I mean, he's just braking a shorter distance in a harder manner. It's working for him through the S's. He's closed right up. So McMillan is in a world of hurt here. He's got to get going. Ratliff has caught him.
Yeah, he's braking, doing most of his braking in a straight line, and he's getting the car into the corner, able to cut the center a lot better right now. And he's got him in his sights, and he's got just enough time to get him. Of course, catching him and passing him, two different things.
Eric Whiting had an incident just a little bit ago. Let's get a look in on it. You see him here all alone. Looks like he swings it wide and he just loses it. He's trying to hang on. Someone drives on through there safely. He gets her spun around. Really no harm, no foul for Mr. Whiting.
Yeah, it's good car control there. Got her out in the gravel, and back end got out from under him. Yeah, good to see him able to catch the car. No other damage, and able to get back moving again. But I'm sure he's disappointed as late as that happened in the race.
Back to the battle. Ratliff hounding McMillan. The car's looking to handle very differently through the turns. It's very interesting to watch these two different cars attack these corners.
You know, that times Ratliff was 3/10 quicker that last lap.
He has been for a couple laps now, but he's here now. I mean, he's got to find a way to get right to that bumper. I mean, he's about 3-4 car lengths back, and it's just not close enough to make a move. You see, you talked about it, that Porsche doesn't have the straight line speed to make a move on the straightaway.
Now, what he's got to do, Dean, is get a good run off of turn 7 down that long straight. Get to his inside and take him in turn 10. That's the place to make this move for Ratliff.
All right, you heard him, folks. Turn 10. Looks like McMillan opened it back up a little bit, so it's very tough. Sections, there you go. Ratliff right back to the bumper again. The Toad Man right in front of them. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, they're going to go into these S's here. Toad Man gets out of the way for him. Very respectable move to make. They're going to come up here to turn 6. Make that right-hander, and all he has to do is just stay close here.
Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of a run off the corner, but there's just nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to get a bit of
Yeah, well, he got the run he needed through turn 6 that he should have tried to get at turn 7 to get. Is what I'm thinking there. But he is close enough to use that draft. This is what I'm saying, Dan. He's using this draft to get up behind him and get position for turn 10.
Yeah, it's just I don't think he has the power, even with the draft, to get position on entry into here.
Okay, but do you see the move I'm talking about? You see
Oh,
what I'm
for
saying?
absolutely. I mean, you're absolutely correct. It's got to be super frustrating to not be able to get there.
Well, I'm saying if I'm Greg Ratliff in that car right now, that's what I've got on my mind. A smooth entry and exit of turn 6. I'm going to go deep into turn 7 so I can get a good hard run off the corner, draft behind him through 8 and 9 on the long straight, and down into 10 I'm going to get him. Wouldn't surprise me if Ratliff's not thinking the same thing.
Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. White flag should be fairly imminent for Mr. Ward.
Bray has been able to cut a little bit into that lead, but still, Jeff Ward out there with 6.5 second lead.
No white flag this time by. Bray in second, all alone. Then it's McMillan and Ratliff. Davis back in 5th. Connolly in 6th. Olson, with that extra pit stop, has fallen to 7th. It's Whiting, 8th. Those are your lead lap drivers. The Toad Man out here, he's made his way up to 9th. Great job by him. Williams, Spear, Musial, Reiner, and Ripka all out. So we definitely should have the white flag. Can I have a confirmation at all, Jason? The white flag has not dropped yet, has it?
No, I don't see where the white flag is dropped. No, I heard it.
Oh, and that Mustang did sound nice there. We caught a little glimpse of that purr. I like that.
Yeah.
And there it is, white flag, Jeff Ward. One more lap here at Road Atlanta to take home the victory. This will be his second victory, and it definitely put him to the points lead with McMillan not here. Bray continues to chase, now down to 4.5, getting down to 4 seconds as Ward is really milking this lap here, which is allowing Bray to come back into it. I mean, I hope he's not losing gas or something. I mean, I think he's fine for gas.
I don't know. Maybe he's worried, Dean. He's backing off a little bit. You never know.
I mean, you don't normally see someone back out this late in the run. But Ward, with only a few corners left, shouldn't have too much trouble here. McMillan continues to hold off Ratliff.
Who Ratliff's there through the S's?
Ward coming through, getting very close to the end here. Jeff Ward across the line, flashing the lights. He will win. Bray will come home in second, showing only 3 seconds back, but was a little further. And here the battle. It's McMillan and Ratliff battling for third. Ratliff got a little loose there. I think McMillan's going to hold him off.
Yeah, Ratliff played that perfectly until he got to the center of turn 7, and the car just let go, slid out from underneath him, and he lost all his momentum. So it looks like McMillan's going to hold on to that position.
It's got one more corner here. It's going to be Mike McMillan coming home with third, Ratliff fourth. You got Michael Davis back here fighting for 5th. Connolly has caught up, or no, that is not Connolly. That's the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. So Davis come home 5th. Connolly in 6th. You got Olson back in 7th. Dominating performance here tonight by Mr. Jeff Ward. Jason, I mean, there's not a lot to say. I mean, he was in a world all of his own here tonight.
He sure was, Dean. I mean, he started on the pole. He led every lap. I mean, he did everything he needed to do. He stayed consistent. He just walked away on those guys and just ran away with it. It was a heck of a drive for him.
We'll watch him come around here. See, you know, the burnouts in these cars aren't quite your NASCAR style, and I think Ward's is going to take it straight to the garage. He likes the way that thing looks. He's going to keep it that way, Jason.
That's a good-looking car, man. You don't want to dirty that thing up.
Absolutely. Bray, a nice race by him. He comes up here to congratulate Mr. Ward. Right now, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll come back and we'll interview our top 3 finishers. All right, back here at Road Atlanta, where Jeff Ward took home victory tonight. I mean, it was not a whole lot of battles, a little war of attrition in some spots. Connolly did nice jobs keeping that thing straight, getting the top 6. Ratliff also. I mean, several guys had several nice runs tonight, Jason.
Yeah, Dean, it was a good, solid race for a lot of guys. Some guys had a few mistakes out there, but hey, man, you know, anytime you bring the car home one piece, it's a good race.
Absolutely. And here is our 3rd place finisher, the number 80, Mike McMillan. Mike, heck of a race. Congrats on 3rd place here this evening.
Awesome. Thanks, Dean. Man, it's been a while since I got to talk to you.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about it. I mean, you and Scott Olson going at it and some hard racing. I love it. He beat you off of pit road. That's where I want to start, Mike. What happened on pit road? And did he maybe beat you off pit road by not getting enough fuel in the machine?
I think that was part of it, unfortunately. Yeah, that's why he had to pit again. But I was just slow getting into my stall, being cautious.
Let's talk about your drive. So you seem, pretty standard, Mike. We get to know you pretty good, right? You're going to be consistent. You're not going to have off tracks and all that. Do you think that paid off for you tonight? I mean, you started 5th, you ended up in 3rd. It's a positive finish.
Definitely, that was the key to it. And also Randy being out. Hope he feels better soon.
Yeah, definitely. Randy, he was usually up there slugging it out with Ward, so Ward was kind of by himself tonight. But we're talking about you here, Mike, and the battles out there. We've seen the speed on the straightaway. What was the difference in the 2 cars? I mean, that's where you were able to get around Olson before the pit stops. Tell us a little bit about the 2 different cars.
For sure. For once, the Audi is good getting out of the corners, so I could get a good launch for that big long straightaway. That's where I was gapping Greg as well, but then he was catching me under the braking zones.
Well, we want to talk about that. I mean, he was putting some serious heat on you in those braking zones. My goodness, he'd close about 4 or 5 car lengths under heavy braking there, Mike. How concerned were you?
Well, that was one of the only places I kept losing it. If I was braking too hard, too late into that, after the big straightaway, the rear end would want to come around into the braking, so I had to just give it up every lap right there.
Well, Mike, I thought you did everything right tonight. You come home on the podium, continue your streak here of good finishes. Going to be in a good spot in the points. I think you might move up to 2nd, definitely 3rd. So congrats on a great finish, and hopefully it keeps going for you, and we see you in a championship battle later on. We'll turn the mic over to you, Mike. Anybody you'd like to thank or anything, you go right ahead.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dean. I want to thank you guys up in the booth for sure. And Todd and Jamie and all the guys that run the league. And that's about it. Fun stuff. I'm loving these GT3 cars.
All right, Jason, that was Mike McMillan, the number 80 with a 3rd place finish here this evening.
Yeah, Dean, I've got Jamie Bray here with me. Came in second place behind Jeff Ward. Jamie, you had a good run tonight. How do you think your night went? How do you feel about it?
I feel it was pretty good. It was a good points night for us. I was able to lead a lap there, and I had some pretty decent pace, but track was real slick with the temperature on the track. But overall, I mean, I still think I had a good run. It's pretty consistent. Only went off track a couple times, but hard to beat a guy who doesn't make hardly any mistakes. But still a really, really good run for us tonight.
Yeah. How'd you get to second place? Tell us how you made that move.
I got a little loose coming off the first corner. I think with those Audis, they get loose for the first 2 laps until the tires come in, and I got loose coming out of the first corner there around the first turn, and Scott got by me, but I rode behind him for a couple laps, saw an opportunity come out of that one corner with the wall, and I was able to turn left and pass him on the backstretch. But he was battling me pretty hard, but I was able to get by.
An observation I was talking about, especially at the end of the race, was how the Porsches were out breaking everybody in but it looks like the Audis specifically were able to get off the corner a lot better than the Porsche. So it definitely was evident in those exchanges you had with him. Well, you had a great run tonight. Yeah, Jeff Ward he was he was in a different place, different time zone there for most of that race. He really took off and held that lead, but it was an impressive run by you. Good to see you rising up in the points, and congratulations on your podium second place finish. Anybody you want to shout out to or name your sponsors? Say hi to your wife. What do you want to do?
No, I just want to say thank you for everybody for supporting the series, and special thanks to you guys for broadcasting, and just an awesome job overall by all the drivers in the RGR GT3 series. Thank you.
All right, man. That's our second place finisher, Jamie Bray, Dean.
All right, we turn our attention to the race winner, the 89, Jeff Ward, bringing that Ford machine, that Mustang, to victory lane. Congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you. Yeah, that feels good. You come out to Road Atlanta here. We just got this track and start learning it. I hate that Randy missed. I was just telling Scott that Randy probably this was his type of track with the long straightaway, and we would have had our hands full. But Jamie was back there. I was checking the times, making sure we was staying ahead of him, and we just was able to have a good pit stop, execute all nine, and take the win.
Well, maybe that was the key to victory tonight, Jeff, is coming out on cold tires and keeping her on the track. No offense, but I mean, it's easy not to, isn't it? We've seen a lot of guys kind of touch through the grass. I don't think I seen you off the track here tonight.
Yeah, I come out of the pits. I was definitely tiptoeing through the S's and through there. I think each car has its own characteristics on cold tires. Like this Mustang, when you hit the brakes, it just wants to go straight. Of course, I'm running a ton of front brake, but yeah, just made sure that didn't happen again. And it's definitely slippery. This is the hardest track I think that we've been to so far. But I'm really having a blast learning these tracks as we go. I know a handful of them, but there's 2 or 3 I'm gonna have to learn as we go. And yeah, it's just fun. I'm having more fun than the oval stuff right now, to be honest.
Well, I can agree with you there. They're a ton of fun. Now, what level of experience do you have at GT3? Is this just the case of you love the car and you've been practicing it now, or do you have a past with the GT3 cars?
No, I've always loved road racing, in Xfinity and Cup, and anytime we go to Watkins Glen or Sears Point, run pretty decent. So I saw that they were wanting to do this series, and I thought, okay, well, we're gonna give it a try. So no, I'm new to it and learning as I go. Of course, I'm putting in hours of practice to be able to go out there and lay down some lap time. So yeah, I just started watching the IMSA on TV and just really loving it, man. I might even try to go to a race in real life there.
I love it. I mean, that's part of the iRacing experience, right? Bringing people to the actual track, becoming fans of series. Sounds like you're one now. I think you're garnering people who are fans of you as well, Jeff, with your performances out here. Been solid across all series, and GT3, I think, is maybe your new favorite. So this is, guys are going to have to get out and practice music to Baron the Bosco's ears if he's listening. But congrats on this victory, Jeff. It's another one in the win column. We'll get Randy back, and you can start that rivalry back up hopefully next week. But congrats on this one, and we'll turn the mic over to you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully Randy can get a provisional and get some of those points back when we get back to battling for the championship. But just thanks to Lexington Brewing and Distilling. Thanks to everybody at RGR, Jamie and Todd and George for putting on this series. Like I said, it's been a blast. Thanks to you guys in the booth as always. Gonna go watch this one back and enjoy that. And that's probably about it.
All right, Jason, Jeff Ward, dominant performance out here at Road Atlanta tonight.
Yeah, Dina sure was. He put on a clinic. Says he spent a lot of time out on track practicing, and it definitely showed. He put a looking on them boys tonight.
Certainly did. Looking in on our results, you have Ripka, who set a really fast lap, but we know one lap isn't going to cut it at Road Atlanta. He had a bit of a problem there, and that car never recovered. I don't think it was his doing. Got tangled up with, I believe, Ratliff and maybe someone else as well. Reiner, hot and cold, was moving through the field. Wasn't meant to be. And a few others you can find your favorite driver on there. But yeah, I can't wait to get to the next one here, see where this championship goes. Of course, we have all the coverage on Monday nights at 9:10 p.m. It's the RGR Road Racing Series. And I think for now, for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Jason Martin, that's going to wrap it up from Road Atlanta. We'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel